Namaste, hello. We have a Yin Yoga session, go for about an hour and a half. And today we are looking at a Yin pair. So Shao Yin, so the heart meridian and the kidney meridian. So your heart meridian runs from the heart, comes down through the torso into the small intestine. But the one we'll be dealing with mostly, it's got three branches, the heart meridian. So we'll be looking today at the branch of the heart meridian that runs from the heart out through the shoulders, comes along the under or the inside of the arm and finishes at the tip of the little finger. The third branch of the heart comes up through the head and up into the eye. And the other meridian that we're looking at is the kidney meridian. And the kidney meridian is also a yin, so it's a yin pair. Both kidney and heart are yin meridians. And the kidney meridian runs from the sole of the foot, so you're looking at kidney 1 point being right in the centre of the ball of the foot, and it runs down up over the ankle and up to the sort of the inner back of the leg, up through the torso and finishes in the tongue. So we've got a bit going on today as far as the lines we're looking at. The superficial back line of the body is the kidney. And then to target into our heart meridian, we'll be doing a bit through opening of the chest and the arms, and also looking at the deep fascia of the back and front body. So this all sounds very confusing, but just go with the flow. To begin with, what props do we need? So prop wise, if you have a bolster or some cushions or a tightly rolled sort of solid blanket or towel would be beneficial. And that's about it for the props today. And of course for our pentacle at the end, a blanket's nice to keep you cozy, and maybe an eye pillow if you have one, no biggie. So to begin, we'll be seated. So get yourself comfortably seated. And we're just going to take some Qi Dantian gathering breaths. So the Dantians that we're looking at today, kidney is Dantian 1, so it's lower belly, so think lower than the belly button. And heart is Dantian 3, which is coming up into the chest, so heart and chest. So we're going to take some gathering breaths. So take the arms out to the side, and as we take a breath in, we take our hands up, 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 up. And with the breath out, we're bringing energy down, and we'll have one hand rest at the heart and one at the lower belly. And it's like we're allowing energy that we're drawing into the body to settle at these spots. So we're going to do this 3 times. I encourage you to close your eyes and just work with the rhythm of your breath. So on the inhale, sweep the arms up, gathering energy in the hands. And as we exhale, pressing it down through the body, coming to rest, Dantian 1 and 3. Inhale, going up. Exhalation to draw it in. Keep moving through at your pace, matching your rhythm of your breath with a slowish breath. round as you complete your exhalation. One hand at the heart, one on the lower belly. Just rest for a moment, take a few breaths. Then we'll let our hands come down to rest by the side. And we'll blink our eyes open. Moving through to our first pose, which is butterfly pose. So the soles of the feet come together and the knees open out to the side. Now, if it's comfortable for you to be on the ground like this, fantastic. If you want to lift the hips up a little bit higher, so we could come onto a folded blanket or a cushion, just for a little bit of height. And soles of the feet are together. Again, optional on how far away the soles of the feet are, but either coming, so you've got a bit of distance between the pelvis and the heels, or draw them in close, so it's completely up to you. And in fact, we actually have 5 minutes here, so you can play. We've got a bit of space to play around. Now from this pose, we'll be moving through to a reclined version where we come down onto the floor. So if you like, we can set up for that now, which will be having our bolster set behind us so that when we're ready, we can recline down. So either a bolster, a few cushions, a rolled towel or blanket. And the idea is to keep the chest open so that the arms can come out. We get an opening through our chest and along the arms. So I'm going to not have mine set up just yet. I'm going to face you this way. So we'll take our legs wide and begin the first part of this pose. And we're just slowly pivoting at the hips. Start to surrender forward. Let the head drop. So we're looking for length through the back of the neck. The chin kind of tucks in a little bit towards the throat. And gravity holds our head. Take your time to settle in here. Think about moving to your first point of resistance. So we don't want to move too far, too fast. Move slowly, feel an intensity of sensation, and we stop there. And you may find as we spend time here that the sensation either increases and it's enough to stay here, or the sensation might fade away as we settle in. And if that happens, then perhaps we can move in a little deeper. And while we're here, I thought I might just read to you a little passage out of this book, Insight Yoga by Sarah Powers. It's a great book if you're looking for a Yin Yoga book. Staying still in various poses will undoubtedly bring up lots of emotion. As we surrender into the sensations, we have the opportunity to acknowledge all that arises within us, allowing ourselves time to fully inhabit our emotions without the compulsion to act out because of them. We may experience disappointment in a tight hip or fear as we settle into a long-held back bend. The longer we practice, the more we notice how varied our feelings are, how we can feel agitation 1 minute and elation the next, exuberance followed by despair, inside the cocoon of long-held poses, we can turn towards these various nuances and track our passing states of being. This breeds an emotional flexibility and resilience. Often our uninvestigated habits may be to feel defeated or oppressed by disturbing emotions, immediately identifying with them. With practice, we can instead learn to soften into the resistance or anguish and truly examine its momentum. Whatever the context, we train ourselves to open to the experience. This capacity to remain attentive and non-judgmental towards what we are experiencing naturally transforms the experience from one of struggling with difficulty to one of opening up to challenges. What results is not an increase in suffering, as we may initially fear, but more openness. There is a common misconception that we should be able to control or eradicate pain. Although yoga poses do often bring some relief to blocked areas of the body, we still have to endure discomforting pains as long as we are in this body. Instead of expecting to miraculously become pain-free from a yoga practice, we can utilize the poses to help us fully inhabit our bodies with dignity and care, whether we are experiencing pleasure or pain. If we want to learn how to come home to our bodies, we have to take up residency in every corner of ourselves, no matter how sick, injured, decrepit, or immobile we are. Each yin pose is another opportunity to crawl within ourselves and stay a while. While remaining still, we allow ourselves to breathe into the feeling tones without the burden of expectation to feel a particular way or create a particular result. So I just thought that passage might help us really surrender into this process of moving into these yin poses. And in the time I've taken us to read that, we've got the last 5 breaths of this pose coming up. So really surrendering into these last 5 breaths, feeling everything that they bring. Bring a smile. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And take a breath in. Bring the hands to press on the floor as we just slowly lift ourselves up. And we'll be moving into our reclined version. So if we already have our setup ready to go, keep the legs as they are, and we bring ourselves down and onto our support. Let the arms be open out to the side. Feel that opening through the chest. As we soften here, the eyes might close, moving in. Finding our stillness. Now we've been folding forward at the hips. We've had a little kink in that energy line along the front of the body. As we've opened ourselves backwards, we've released that kink in the energy line, the meridian. So you might feel a little rush as we recline here. So we mentally scan through and release any tension that we're holding within the body. Know your spots, whether it's the jaw or the shoulders or the thighs, buttocks, the belly, whether you tend to clench your fingers or hold tension within your feet and toes. A little scan through, and as the attention goes to an area, there's immediately a lessening of tension, whether it releases completely or not. Just the attention being there will often bring a lessening. Surrendering into the sensation of the body in this shape, the sensation of the breath in this shape. So we're halfway through our time here. So if you are feeling a sensation that's too strong, look at how we can reduce that. So perhaps if it's within the hips, maybe the legs can move a little bit further away from the pelvis. If it's within the arms, maybe bringing the arms a bit more towards the side of the body rather than out wide. If you've felt a decrease of sensation and want to find that little bit further, maybe the heels come closer to the pelvis. Maybe the arms can move a few more millimeters higher, coming out to the side a little bit up towards the head. Moving into our last 5 breaths. And our last 5 breaths is really the time to completely surrender. So don't think about moving, don't initiate any little twitches through the muscles, really completely dropping in. And then we're coming down to a back rest. So think about how you can get onto your back with moving as little as we can, moving as slowly as we can. Bring our bodies down, lie upon our back on the floor. Let the arms flop out to the sides, let the legs flop out to the side. And we take our rebound, our opportunity to let any shifts and changes we've made be drawn into the body. so slowly, we'll bring ourselves over to lie on our bellies. Now the transitions between poses are important, so really moving gently and slowly and experiencing each part of that rolling the body over onto our belly. I'll come this way. Bringing our right arm out to the side so that the right arm comes with the palm facing down. Turn the head to look to the left. And we're looking to open up through the front of the right arm and into the chest here. So with our left hand, we can press the left hand down as we start to lift the left chest off the ground. Maybe you'll bring your left leg with the knee bent. Perhaps this is strong enough for you to be here. Maybe you can come completely onto that right side of the body so that the hand might still press into the ground for support, the left hand that is. But we're opening the side of the body. If you would like to go a little bit further, we might bring the left hand around so the back of the left hand slides into the lower back. The left knee might point up to the sky and the left foot might come to the earth behind the right leg. So let me show you that from behind. So from behind, it might look like this. So settling here, opening the chest. Breathing, surrendering in, looking at what tension we can release, allowing ourselves to just be. Breath flowing gently. Tuning into whatever's going on. So perhaps tuning into your breath, feeling it flowing in and out of the nostrils or the chest or the belly. Perhaps tuning into the sensation within the right arm, right shoulder, that right front chest. Releasing tension through the body. Go to your spots that you know you hold it. Scan through from the toes all the way through to the crown of the head. Stopping in and checking in with the body. What can I let go of here? Where can I soften? Okay, halfway. stay within the body. Perhaps watching the thoughts and where they're going, what they're cycling through. This yin pair that we're looking at, the kidney and heart pair, it's about calling the spirit home. Our home being this physical body. Calling the spirit home, it's tethering and anchoring the spirit here within us. So we take our last 5 breaths, moving deep within the sensation, really going there, welcoming it, shaking its hand. And we'll move down super slowly, slow as we can go, into a belly rest. So we'll gently, remember we've been holding our arm there now for 5 minutes, so gently, gently, gently bringing yourself slowly down onto your belly. Maybe the hands will come in under the head and the head will rest on top of the hands. Maybe the head's still turned to the side. The arms are resting by the side. Because we've been looking out to the left, maybe you'd like to look to the right for this next minute. And really allowing the body to soften and melt down to the ground. So maybe even shake and shimmy the hips a little side to side before we settle. Allow the buttocks to be soft, the belly to be soft. As if the ground is moving up around the body and we're actually sinking down into it. I love the vision or to picture the arms of Mother Earth coming up around and hugging us. So perhaps you could visualize and feel that happening to you. So we'll move through to the opposite side. So now the left arm comes out to the side of the body. And we look out to the right side. So I'm going to turn around so I'm still looking at you. We look out to the right side, left arm's out behind us. The right hand presses down and starting to lift the body up. So maybe we can have the right leg out, perhaps you'll have the left leg out, and this might be where you are. Perhaps we can bring a little deeper Maybe even with the right leg up to the sky, foot to the ground, and perhaps even the right arm might come around behind the back. So the back of the hand slides down the middle back. Might even tuck so that the fingers slide in to the waist. But we are setting ourselves up here. That first 40 seconds of a pose is the yang part. So it's really the moving into the pose, the little bit of twitching around that we do, a little bit of shuffling around to be comfortable. And then those first 40 seconds, the muscles slowly stop firing and we shift from being more yang to being more yin. So we're shifting into that phase now. So it's now that we want to be mostly still. Scanning through, releasing tension, toes, the feet, lower legs, up through the thighs, softening the buttocks, the belly, opening up through the chest, releasing any tension through the back, through the shoulders. From the arms and hands and fingers. Through the neck, the throat, into all those little muscles in the face, the jaw, around the mouth, around the eyes, the cheeks and the brow. Through the scalp, past our halfway point, making any adjustments if you are feeling too much sensation at where you're at, maybe lessening it a little. If you're feeling not much as it's dissipated as we've been here, maybe moving in a little deeper. Last 5 breaths. a smile physically to your face. Bringing a smile to the center of the brow. A felt sense of a smile through the body, through the chest, smiling across the collarbone, into any areas of sensation. Last breath in and out. And then we slowly bring ourselves onto our belly rest once more. So thinking about moving as slow as we can, as gently as we can, into our belly rest. Maybe turning the head out to the left side, little shake and wiggle through the hips before we surrender completely down. Melting down to the earth. The earth comes up to meet you. Held safe and secure. And then gently bringing yourself up to be seated. But again, just move slow. There's no rush, there's no hurry. And this next pose, we've got two options. So we're moving through to either baby snail or caterpillar, and they're basically the same thing, it's just that one's inverted. So if you have a bolster or something similar, then baby snail is a good option. If you don't, then probably moving into the caterpillar. And we'll do a bent leg caterpillar. So if you have something cushion or blanket rolled light, we will have it under the knees, so the knees are gently bent, and it's a folding at the waist, and caterpillar is a forward fold, but ideally with some softness in the knees. So rather than having the legs flat, bring a little prop under the knees if you've got a cushion or a blanket. If you do have a bolster, that's caterpillar, baby snail, we come to sit on our bolster, almost as if your bottom's going to slide off. And we bring our hands down and our elbows down and our back down to the floor, so that the bottom and hips are on the bolster. And then with a little bend in the knees, we bring the legs towards the body. Now we can bring the arms by the side out wide. It's going to start to get a bit more into those heart lines, or even out to the side and up overhead is another option. So this is our baby snail. We can even bend the knees and bring the hands around the legs, which can be a nice little hug, a little drawing in as well. So whichever option you are at, either your baby snail, if you've got your bolster, or caterpillar. So it's essentially the same shape, except for we've just flipped one over. So getting yourself into whichever option you're going for. If you are in your caterpillar, if you are in your baby snail, and you might have a bigger chest or belly, the knees can come a little bit wider so that the knees are coming more over the shoulder than being together. So that can be an option as well. Let the eyes close wherever you're at. Let the breath flow. If you're in your baby snail with your bolster, you can just draw the chin in ever so slightly so the chin tucks in towards the chest, just creating length through the back of the neck. If you're in your caterpillar with the bent legs, allow the head to drop. So again, we're creating that length along the back of the neck. The head drops, feeling gravity there. If you're in your caterpillar, maybe have a little play with the hands. Press the hands, with the backs of the hands down and the palms up, open and receptive. And then the other way around, with the palms going down, earthing, grounding down, connecting with the earth beneath us. So even just that subtle movement and change of where the hands, or how the hands are facing, can change the feel of the pose. We're halfway. Moving into our last 5 breaths, we're looking at opening completely, surrendering completely, softening all the way in, no resistance, no pushing back, no gripping, no holding. And just a nice big breath in and out. And we'll make our way to a back rest. So whether you're in baby snail or in your caterpillar, bringing yourself down, moving in a way that we're moving as little as possible as we bring ourselves to lie on our backs. Surrender to the earth. Let any sensation move through the body. So perhaps you're experiencing tingling, pins and needles, hum of energy. Perhaps it'll just take a little moment as we make that adjustment of being in a bend shape to a straightened shape. Feeling the echoes of the pose, the quiet whispers. And moving slowly, we'll be seated again. But move it slow, bend the knees, roll to the side. Take your time. Think about, as you come up to sit, about the head being the last bit to come up into that upright position. And we're taking a dragonfly, which is a wide leg. Again, a cushion can be nice, or a folded blanket under the bottom. So if you can imagine that your sit bones come onto the cushion, not the full bottom, you're right on the edge of it, as if you can almost roll forward off it. So either a good solid folded blanket, or if you've got a little bit of height in a cushion or something like that, then a cushion would be useful as well. And we spread the legs out wide. So as wide as is comfortable. Again, thinking about the edge, that first bit of sensation. We don't want to move too far too fast. So bring the legs wide so there's a little bit of awareness through the legs. If you desire, you may bend the knees up so that the soles of the feet come to the floor, so it's more a wide leg, knees bent. Or we can even bring some cushions or support under the knees so that we've got a little bit of a soft bent neck with support. So as we get ourselves set up here, from here we're moving into a forward fold. So we're pivoting from the hips, the torso is coming down, the hands will be supportive in front of us. We can walk the hands forward, maybe the elbows will come to the ground, maybe they won't. The support's going somewhere. allow the head to drop. So think about that length through the back of the neck and gravity holding the torso down, the body down, but also the head down as we droop the head down. Scanning through toes, feet, feeling the legs from the inside out. Releasing tension. So in our vinyasa or our hatha yoga, we'd normally have our legs tensioned here. There'd be the thighs pulling the kneecaps up. So it's often, if you do have a practice, like a vinyasa or a hatha practice, sometimes have to consciously really go to those muscles that you've trained to do a particular thing and really tell them to not do that. So in our dragonfly, we tell our thighs to be relaxed, tell our calves to be relaxed, our feet to be relaxed, our hips, our belly, really just completely let go of those normal practices that we have, and sometimes you have to actually consciously turn them off. And that's why, or one of the reasons why, we have the different names for the poses. So where this is our Uppadista Konasana, our wide leg forward fold. In our yin, we call it dragonfly. So the change in name is an acknowledgement that this is different. The shape might look similar, but what we're doing, what we're invoking inside, that attitude that we're bringing is different. So we've given it a different name. So just allowing yourself to surrender here. We've just come to our halfway. Actually, we've gone past our halfway. So maybe checking in, can I move, or do I want to move a little deeper? Do I need to back off a little? Am I happy right where I am? Last 5 breaths. Big breath in, slowly releasing it out. And the hands press. And gently just walking the hands slowly back. And as we do that, the torso comes up. And we're going to take a little sideward here. So keep the legs as they are, unless you need to adjust slightly. Again, the bending of the knees is going to lessen the intensity of things. So perhaps you'll do that. But we'll bring ourselves over. Let's go to our left leg first. We'll bring ourselves over so we begin to bring the torso twisting towards the left. And then we'll bring ourselves downward facing here. So the gaze is coming down towards the legs. Again, gravity, hold the head down. Like a piece of fruit hanging off a tree, an apple dripping off the tree, a pear. Softening as we go through the toes, the feet, along the legs, consciously relaxing those thighs, the buttocks and hips. Softening the belly, the shoulders, hands and fingers, through the face, so release tension from the jaw, the cheeks, around the eyes, the centre of the brow. Halfway here. So again, if you do need to make some adjustments, we've still got another 2 minutes here, so make any adjustments and then we've got time to sink back into the yin-ness of it. Last 5 breaths. And then we take a big breath in, a big breath out. We press the hands down, lifting the torso up, walk the hands back in. And take a moment as we take a breath in the centre. And then we'll set up onto our right side. So we bring that twist through the torso, so we're facing out over our right leg. And bring ourselves softening down towards the right. bringing yourself to that first point of resistance, that first edge. And we stop and spend some time noticing the sensation, where it's at, how intense is it, can I stay here, do I need to back out, can I move a bit deeper, constantly assessing gravity on the head. Mental scan through each part of the body. What can we let go of here? What tension, what's not serving us? We're at our halfway point here, so considering we've got 2 more minutes, so it's the same as what we've already spent here. Do you need to back out a little? Can you drop in a little more? Are you happy where you are? Moving to our last 5 breaths. Big breath in, nice release out. And then as we're breathing in, we just put a little pressure through the hands to the earth and lifting, walking back to the center. Take a breath here. Bring the hands under the knees. Our legs have been here a while, so maybe even lean back a little, bend into the knees. Bring the legs together out in front. Bring the hands behind you, and maybe just give the legs a gentle swish side to side. And we'll move through to a little windshield wiper. So coming further back so that the elbows come onto the ground behind you. Bending the knees up to the sky and a little swish side to side with the legs. Think about the feet being a bit wide as we do this. And then we're going to take a back rest here. So lying down on your back, legs stretched out. If you feel that you need to sort of spend a bit more time there in your windshield wipers, please do, but otherwise we'll stretch out into our rebound. And that was, what did we do? 5 in the centre, 4 each side. So that was a really quite a long hold, particularly for our legs there. So we'll spend a good minute or two here in our rebound to really give the body a chance to take a breath. We're going to move through to our next pose from our back rest here. And what we'll do is we'll bend both our knees up towards the sky. And again, there's a couple of options here. So I'll show you the full pose, and then I'll add some options depending on how your body's feeling. So with the knees bent, we'll bring the right leg across the left leg. Now you might even get a tuck and twist up into the shins as well, but it might just be across like you would if you were seated like a lady, cross legs. We can take our arms open, and it's a twist. So we're going to drop our legs towards the right side. Now, the right hand might come onto the knees and make a connection there. The left could be open directly out to the side, or perhaps even sweeping it up a little bit higher so it's opening up and out above the head slightly. So this would be a deep version of this, and the gaze could come to the right or to the centre up the head or out to the left. So again, it's something that you could play around with. If this is too deep for you, we can do just a gentle, both legs resting next to each other, drop them out to the side, so without that twisting of the legs. There's also the option of adding a little bit of cushioning here. So as the legs come down, they're not surrendering all the way to the ground. There's a little bit of something under the knees for them to rest upon. So take your time to find out what version and expression of this pose is going to be you. And we surrender in and soften in here. Noticing the breath and just how the breath moves differently through our body when we have this twist through our torso. Where are you feeling the sensation most intensely? Can you open to that rather than pushing away from it? Can you move towards it? We've gone past our halfway here. Sorry, I missed it. Not by much. Into the last 5 breaths. We'll meet up back in a back rest again. So slowly, maybe you'll, if you twist it up, unravel your legs first, rolling yourself back centered. Surrendering down, feel the earth coming up to meet you. We'll set up to the other side. So we begin by bending both knees up to the sky, bringing the feet onto the floor near the buttocks. And if you're coming into your twisted legs, cross legs, we can bring our left leg across the right with a simple cross leg, or more exaggerated cross leg where we bring the shins in as well. Arms out to the side, and remember our legs are going off to the left side this time. If that is too strong for you, just that knees together across to the left, and remembering we can bring in our support under the knees as well here if we need to. So our right arm can be opened out, sort of out to the side or out and above. So maybe like that kind of 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock arm. And gaze might be to the left, or it might be up to the ceiling, or it might be out to the right. Have a little play, see what feels like it best serves you. When you settle and find stillness, then looking at what we can release here tension-wise within the body. Obviously, there's some tension that we've created by this shape, but the other stuff, the stuff we don't need to be holding on to at all, stuff in the toes, the softening of the belly, softening around the heart, through the face. There's no need to hold any tension at all in your face. Let the jaw release, let the brow be soft. Tuning in to the breath, to whatever's occurring physically through the body. Emotionally, mentally. So we've just gone past halfway. Allowing the eyes to be closed. Last 5 breaths. And then we just bring ourselves into a back rest, and actually this will be our final pose, our pentacle pose. So take a little moment to take a breath here, and then grabbing whatever you're going to need to be comfortable and warm for the next little bit as we just take our final rest, our final rebound, our final surrender in Pentacle. So Pentacle is similar to the shape we make for Shavasana. The legs are stretched away, feet rolling out to the side. So the 5 points of our star, our feet, our arms, and our head. So taking our Pentacle here, drawing the chin in a little, letting the eyes close down completely. If you have a eye pillow, you might like to use it. You might like a blanket to be warm as we're lying here. that breath to deepen. Feeling it flow into the lungs, feel the chest, feel the belly, feel it flow out and permeate every cell of the body. As we enliven and awaken the body with the breath. Bring a little wiggle into the fingers, into the toes. Rolling onto our side. And slowly drawing ourselves up to be seated. Keep those eyes closed. Keep the outside world out a little bit longer. We'll bring our hands, palms of the hands, fingers, thumbs to meet each other at the heart. Nice big breath in and out. Bowing the head. We're looking down towards our hands. Namaste. Thank you. And take it easy, moving on with whatever you have to do today. Drink some water and just, start to move gently. Don't rush off to do anything. Let this feeling linger. Sit back and enjoy it. And if we ever needed an example of how yin you can get, I can look to my dog, Yinned out in front of the fire here. He's got it all going on. Oh, he's still a little alert. His ears are up. So thank you, and we'll see you again.